is good vibes right here. Listen, doing the freestyle on my own edit. Girl, what you doing? Girl, I've been ready. Oh, hey. This is your favorite YouTuber here. I'm not your favorite YouTuber? It's not a good idea for you to say. Guys, today, me and Momo here. Momo, you've been taking over. So to find these CoryxKenshin edits, first what you're gonna wanna do is go to Instagram and follow my Instagram account, okay? I don't know how many times I have to keep telling you. But you know, we 343,000 strong. I know it's 3 mil of y'all on this website, so come on now. So you go to Instagram, then you follow my account, right? But then if you go to info, look, it's one already right there. We might as well watch this one. Hold up.
I spill paint on my pants. Life suck, oh well, true dad.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so there are all these CoryxKenshin like fan profiles. This one is CoryxKenshin. They keep track of how many times I've liked their posts. I've liked this profile's post 3 times, but you know, sometimes I'll be lurking and I don't want to like them all the time, because I mean, if you live next door to Kevin Hart, is he really famous anymore? What the freak was that example? Definitely one of my favorites out of all of the editors, but we're gonna get into a bunch of them. It's a lot, guys, trust me. Let's check this one out. This one looks like it has me and my best friend Brandon.
Say he want him a reek and a foreign.
You know what I'm saying? Hey! Bro, I'm telling you, these things be fire. Like, if you would have asked me a couple years ago, Corey, do you ever think your YouTube channel would get big enough for little 15-year-old girls to take video clips of you on the internet and then just... It's been a while since I hit y'all one of these. Sarange. Look, I know when I get all up in the mic, the girls, they don't know what to do with themselves. All right, here's another one of the profiles, Corey's Samurai. Like count 11, so you know they got some fire over here. Gangster Paradise. I want to call your boy out for not uploading, but you take a month break every other video. They tell me these edits aren't on point. Like they be hitting them with the how? What do y'all be using? I love you so. Another thing, they be making me look so much better than I actually look. Like, look at this face. You better stop. Yeah, and then that one. Ooh, hold up, can I get a freeze frame on that one? Your boy is handsome. Ooh. Hey. Let's read the caption. My boo, new theme. Not the edit I was gonna make, but enjoy this edit, which I'm very proud of. Love this boy. Y'all got love for me? Like, alright, Corey's the best. Yep, this is another one, because I be seeing like the same 4 or 5 of y'all just murdering it. Hold up. Yo, this edit! Bro, oh my gosh! All the stars are closer. Oh, bro, I'm getting hyped. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, it's a whole genre on Instagram. All you gotta do is hashtag CoryxKenshin edits. I'm telling you, I can sit and watch these things, and I know some of y'all like. Hey, I didn't know that was coming. I gotta apologize. All my dudes, right? I'm sorry. We gotta watch this one for the ladies. I'm sorry. I know my audience ratio is 70% guys, 30% girls, but guys, let's suffer through this, all right? Cut it! Hey! Hey! All Alright, now I'm just at the... Well. Lindsay? You better watch your butt, man. Now I'm just at the hashtag CoryKenshin edit, and we're just about to watch a couple of these. I think I've established my point here. The samurai are much bigger than I could have ever imagined. Even the other day, I posted on my Twitter, which you don't follow me on. I'm just sick of exposing y'all. Anyway, I posted on Twitter, I went to McDonald's.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yo, bro. Dude, it's CoryxKenshin.
And I pull up to the second window because I already went to the first window to pay. So I went up to the second window to get my food. Dude, turn. Listen, doing the freestyle on my own edit. Girl, what you doing? Girl, I've been ready. Oh, that's just good energy. Like, y'all just love me, and I just... They got a big sound with... Oh, it's loop perfect. Samurai, bruh. What was that other one? CXK Samurai, like, I see y'all, man. This is crazy. Yeah, I already like this one. Listen to this. Ah! Look at this! I've done what I came here to do, okay? Your mission after watching this video: 1, follow your boy on Insta. 2, and Twitter. 3, just go and follow all of these CoryKenshin editors because they're dope. Anybody that sits through my content, first of all, you're a winner. But to not only do that, go through, take clips of me that are very sparse and far in between of me looking kind of good, and then editing it into a montage. But not only that, adding the spins, the zooms, stars. I'm so freaking appreciative of you guys. I love you so much. I never ever thought we would get to 3 million samurai. Like, that's... And while I'm saying this, I can already imagine a fan edit of me saying that. And that. But yo, keep it up. We gotta grow to the community somehow. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Be sure to samurai, slice that like button, subscribe to the join the samurai. Until next time, my brothers and sisters.
Cause my name is CoryxKenshin. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for this because it was uploaded by Beat Canyon. Now this was uploaded by Etchy Dude. Etchy Dude, for real. So I want to thank you for sending this to me, and if there's anything that you ever need, don't let me know. Don't.
Okay, so
Look at the tongue.
what's up?
Look at the tongue.
Well, you picked me up with your camera and all these people, so I'm assuming I'm getting a car. Okay, well, I got a surprise for you. Guess whose it is? I don't know, Dylan. Is it mine?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, listen to the music that they're playing.
Oh my god!
You're so lucky.
All right, okay, all right, come on, guys. Guys. This is the 6th car you've given me. He's butting us all multiple cars. How many cars is it gonna take until it's not surprising anymore? I mean, I get you want to have a reaction for the video, but holy fuck. Let's ease up on the cackling and cheering for 5 minutes. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Now, Dylan, I appreciate it. I just can't afford the insurance and property taxes on all these Lamborghinis, man.
True.
I push carts at Target, for God's sakes. Do you know how obnoxious I look driving a neon green Lamborghini to a minimum wage job? It's horrible. I can't sell them because you've leased all of these cars under your name.
Oh, wow.
So now I have crippling debt and 6 Lamborghinis. Who would want that, Dylan? Who? Tell me. What are you trying to say, Greg? What are you trying to say?
Uh-oh.
Honestly, what I'm saying is, I don't want this car. Or any of the cars you've given me.
Uh-oh.
You f***ed me, Dylan.
It's about to get scary.
What's your name? What are you even talking about? My name is Greg.
Wrong! What's your name?
I don't...
Oh my God.
I don't know what you want
Your
me to say.
name's Dylan's friend! Your existence is being my friend!
Oh my
When
God.
people think of you, they really think of me. And that's who you are now.
This. I'm getting out of here, man.
Oh! Dylan, no!
Oh my. Oh. Oh.
I have absorbed his nutrients.
No one will refuse my generosity again. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You're my
you're
kid,
so-
Dylan.
Oh, this is so
Dylan,
cool.
oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, good. Now get up here and feed. Come on. Easy. There's plenty to go around.
Railroad, and it was uploaded by Meat Canyon. It's a Meat Canyon video. You know what time it is. Now, this was sent to us by Bryson. So, Bryson, hope you're having a fantastic day. I think Bryson is a cool name. Bryson. It reminds me of Bison from Street Fighter. All right, that was a nice shout out. Turn that up. Turn that up. Oh, it's cars.
I always forgot how beautiful it can be up here at night.
You sure is right about that, Lightning McQueen.
Sometimes
Okay.
it feels like we're the only 2 people in the world that know about this spot.
Funny you should say that, 'cause I saw a train on my way up here today.
Well, trains are
later.
pretty common around these parts. I mean, there's tracks everywhere.
Well, it was downright strange. Wasn't like no train I'd never seen before.
Was it blue? Like a mystical blue. Almost as if the train had become one with the air around it.
This feels so weird.
Oh, yes! Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better myself, Lightning. Man, that's exactly what it looked like.
When I had that wreck a while back,
Oh, boy, I remember. We all didn't think you were gonna make it out alive.
it's pretty weird. When I had the wreck, I had such an odd dream.
Okay.
It was a strange feeling. It was a place I've never seen before, but felt as if I'd spent a lifetime there. And the only resemblance from the normal world was the sound of a train coming my way.
It is called Railroad.
I felt fear more than anything. Though it was the sound of a train, it felt like a thunderstorm. Like an earthquake was going to destroy the ground around me. And I would fall into a sea of nothingness. All I could do was anxiously hold my breath and brace for impact.
Oh my gosh.
But the impact never came. Instead, a smiling face appeared,
Oh!
melting from the darkness. Pale and cold, screeched forward on its tracks, only to stop right in front of me.
Ew.
It was as if I'd never spoken a single word in my life. I couldn't conjure a single sentence to say to him.
Nightmare fuel. Dude, I'm driving
The train
off.
finally spoke. and I can still hear his voice in my mind.
I have seen past the farthest star, and I have gone to the edges of the earth. I can take you there, and if you so choose, I can give you all the things you never knew you wanted.
It's the devil.
Taste from the tallest chalice.
Nope.
Dine at the largest halls.
Mm-mm.
And all I ask in return is your soul.
Ooh, that's the devil.
For a chance at a life without pain, without heartache.
Nope.
All this I can give you and more.
Listen.
Just for your soul.
Oh my goodness.
I asked back to him, what of life after death? What of the paradises that await me in heaven above? The train did not look
Facts.
at me. It didn't make a single sound. Through all the steam and moving parts controlling this demonic vessel, its only reply was,
Drain of woes.
Huh?
God has turned his back on you. That's why my tracks still push me forward.
I don't understand
my
what you...
body was afraid. Something new and unknown. May it be death? May it be hardship? Suddenly I woke from this nightmare.
Wow. I tell you what, that's downright horrifying.
Well, I haven't really slept well since then.
Oh, come on, Lightning. It's just a train. Nothing to be afraid of out here.
Uh-oh.
I know you're right.
Uh-oh.
There's nothing to be afraid of now.
Uh-oh. That didn't work. This was sent to us by Kyrie Supreme, and he said, welcome back, my man. This is for you. Kyrie, I appreciate you for the welcome back, my guy. And I would also appreciate if you sliced that like button. Kyrie. Do it. It's good to be back.
It was an early morning. My campus didn't offer housing and I lived about a half a mile from school, so I started my journey as usual while playing on my phone. I glanced up to see an old man heading towards me on a bicycle. Normally, I'd
Excuse me? You're not about to be riding a bike with a suit? Where do I even start? Where do I even start? You might as well cut them 3 strands of hair off, big fella. Why are you riding a bike at 99 years old? You gotta... You got a suit on, riding your freaking mongoose bike. Your bow tie is purple.
step aside to let bikers and skaters pass, but he braked instead. I stopped too, wondering if there was something wrong. He walked up to me and said,
"Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you."
Get back!
I felt chills instantly. I didn't know what to think. I just looked up at him with a fearful and confused expression.
Why are you standing there?
I was gathering up the courage to tell him that I was late for class and I should go, but before I could say anything, he said,
"Get off the grass."
Looking down, I noticed I'd stepped over towards the road and onto the grass. I stepped off slowly and he said,
"You wouldn't want to step on any bugs or get your shoes dirty now, would you?"
He raised his finger and asked me what my name was. I told him, and he replied,
"Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you."
The same chills ran through my body again, but before I could say anything, the man said,
"Get off the grass. You wouldn't want to step on any bugs or get your shoes dirty now, would you?"
I looked down to see that I was back on the edge of the sidewalk again. This had to be deja vu. He asked for my name once more. I said my name again, but he interrupted me before I could finish.
I love the Easter eggs. That's that freaking nasty Snapchat kid from that one episode.
He told me his grandchildren are down the road and needed gas money. I told him I didn't have any spare change or any change at all for that matter. He continued to ask me again and I gave him the same answer. Eventually I headed towards my school. I turned to see if he was still there, but he he was gone. As I was walking, I approached the intersection. There was a truck on its side. It must have tipped over while turning the corner.
He's a ghost. Woo! It says llama. What? You stupid llama.
If you want to help support the channel, head on over to the brand new Llama Arts merch store. It has new stuff available like updated t-shirt designs, a mug from the Sleepover Story episode, an embroidered hoodie, a llama pin, and even a llama plushie. All of these items can be found at crowdmade.com. Links are in the description.
Hey, get your money, llama. Your animations is beast. You deserve it. But I have a question. Wasn't that kid in college? Why do you look 12? This week is called Winnie the Pooh and the Great Honey Tree, and it was uploaded by Meat Canyon. Can't help but notice the misspelling here, and I don't think it was on accident. Now this was sent to us by Dalton on Twitter, and he said, Corey, I need some help with this one. I don't even know how to respond to that. Like, what are we, you know what? It's a Meat Canyon video. I already know what time it is.
Deep in the 100-acre wood, Christopher Robin and his friends have had many wonderful adventures. And I believe we may have just enough time to tell you one.
Do y'all remember? I don't remember Pooh having that much cake.
We may have just enough time to tell you one of my favorite tales. Winnie the Pooh and the Great Honey Tree.
Okay, all right. Let's just forego that last
brisk
page.
Autumn morning, Piglet was on his way to see his good friend Winnie the Pooh, so that they may look for more honey in the forest.
Hey!
I cannot wait to search for honey in the forest with my good friend Pooh. Oh my God!
Oh, bother. Piglet, I seem to have eaten all of my delicious honey.
Oh my God! This is too much! Look at you! You're going to pop!
That's what we told him, but he insisted that we get eaten.
Bruh!
God, Tigger! Is that you in there?
It sure is, along with all our friends.
You all wanted to be in there? In Pooh Bear's big old tummy?
We love being in here, Piglet.
Time out. Is that the butthole? And y'all eating too. Dang, now you got the mental image of buttholes and you trying to eat? I'm so sorry.
Together in Pooh.
Join us, Piglet. Be one with us.
No.
I don't know. This is all so new to me.
Get up out of there.
Inside me, you are safe, Piglet.
No.
You are family.
Join us.
No.
Join us.
Piglet, run!
Join us.
Run!
Join us.
I'm afraid, Pooh. I've never done something like this before.
Stuff me like a pot of honey, Piglet.
Huh? Wait, what?
Make me feel good.
Make us all feel good.
Whoa!
Oh, Pooh, is it okay to be a
Christopher, dinner's ready.
Just think first, Mom! Shut the fuck up! I'm coming!
Okay, sweetheart.
I gotta censor all of that.
Christopher Robin uploaded the most liked war fan fiction on furaffinity.net, thus giving him social rankings amongst the furries that could only be comparable to a king. The end.
You appreciate me. You've already sliced that like button. Any deep web anything, I'm not a fan.
A few years ago, while I was in high school, the deep web was becoming very popular.
This is a brother. You can always tell a black guy from a white guy.
Years ago, while I was in high school, the deep web was becoming very popular. I never really got into it until my friend told me about it because he was into that weird stuff.
Yeah.
One day after school, I had nothing to do, so I went onto the browser Tor.
Oh.
I didn't really see much, so I called my friend over so he could help me out. Once he got to my house, we started searching more and more. We saw a lot of drugs and illegal weapons, stuff like that. Then he clicked on a link that was in a chat room, and the link said, "Watch this." As we're sitting there, we were just staring at the screen that went from black to the outside of a building within a few seconds. And out of nowhere, a sticky note that said, "Want to see something cool?"
No. No.
So then I typed, "Yeah, sure."
Oh. Wow.
What was weird was the guy wouldn't type. He just showed sticky notes in the camera. And he also never spoke. All of a sudden, the camera started moving toward the building that it was facing. As we're watching him move toward the building, we noticed that the building was in our neighborhood.
What?
Then he quit moving and put another sticky note that said LOL. That kind of creeped me
Bro, my camera died, but I mean, what if they didn't get on the deep web that day?
out. And then a person entered the building, which was eerily dark.
No.
The camera stopped at a padlocked door and then unlocked it and opened it. The camera moved toward the back of this dark room, and there was a dog bowl on the floor. Now at this point, the camera was only facing the dog bowl. A few moments later, whoever the person was that was holding the camera put something in the bowl that looked like just slop. Honestly, it looked like feces. Then you hear another door open and a girl crying in the background, along with a chain dragging. This girl shows up in the camera crying with a chain around her neck. And the guy shoved her face in the bowl and puts a sticky note in front of the camera that said, "Cool, right?" Then the screen goes black. We sat there for about 10 minutes in disbelief, but the stream was still live. Then out of nowhere, the camera was back on. Then it was in the corner of my street. Then another sticky note that said, 545 East 99th Street off of St. Clair. That was my address. Then another sticky note that said, "Open the door." We sat there confused, then out of nowhere, a knock at the door.
Somebody come knocking at my door? Now let me tell you something, brother. You wanna come knocking at my door looking for trouble? I got a friend here. His name is 12 Gauge. He only speaks one language, and that's buckshot.
Grabbed my phone, jumped up, and we both ran to the back door. Then we heard a knock at that door right before I grabbed the handle. At that point, we had someone at the back door and someone at the front door knocking.
Okay, y'all got two people.
We were stuck. Critical thinking wasn't my strength at that point. We ran upstairs, called the cops, and locked ourselves in my room. The cops showed up, but no one was outside. Only items that the cops found were 100 sticky notes, all with my address written on
How
them.
they got that much time?
I told the cops about the building with the girl, and they found it. The girl was 14 and had been missing for 5 weeks. We moved out of that house within a week. But I would never visit the deep or the dark web again.
Hey, my man. I already learned about the dark web from Adam, and welcome to the game. Nah, y'all can have that. This next one's called Creepy Man Tried to Kidnap Me in the Bathroom. It was uploaded by YC Entertainment. Now this was sent to us by Real Baby Dry Pay. Real Baby Drip A. Creepy Man tried to kidnap me.
People call me Yaya. This happened to me.
Nani? I feel some type of way about this short little petite white girl, and the first thing out of her mouth is, "People call me Yaya." Let me tell you why.
When I was a young girl, maybe 7 or 8. It was a Saturday afternoon and my mother and I were at a mall shopping.
Hey, they getting it.
We went from store to store, mostly for me. I was the spoiled kid. We went into a coat store, and I was pretty bored, so I would constantly walk away from my mother to play and stuff, as I did in every other store.
Mom, you supposed to be on top of that.
My mother would always call my name, and I'd go running to her. This time, I was playing in a round coat rack. My mother called my name, and I ran out. I ran right into this older man. Then he grabbed me. He grabbed me by my wrist and asked me why I was running. I told him because I have to get to my mom. He then told me he could take me to her, but I said no, and he let go. It was weird because I saw this man in almost every store he went to, but he never had any bags. After that store, I had to use the bathroom really bad, so I went while my mother went to the food court. I sat down to use it for maybe a minute.
Her mom went to the food court? I was like, yeah, just go ahead and go to the bathroom. Look at her. She's no more than 5 years old, people. I'm just gonna speak from experience as a black child growing up. I learned real quick not to walk away from my mom. I walked away from my mom once. She was like, you stay next to me, all right? You do not walk away from me while we're at the store, mall, or we're out shopping, blah, blah. I was like, all right, Mom. You know, but kids, they get distracted sometimes. I totally forgot that she said that. So we're out at Meijer, you know, grocery shopping. I see like some freaking candy. I'm about to go and inspect the candies. Oh, I like that one. I like that one. My mom came up behind me like a freaking ninja. She was probably standing behind me for a hot like 30 seconds until like I sensed her like breathing on my neck. At which point I did the anime. Good. She just whispered in my ear. And that meme wasn't even out yet, so I had no idea what she said. I turned around, all I seen was her 2 fingers like this. Have you ever got pinched by your mom? It's the worst pain. It's worse than stepping on a freaking Lego. And after that, I never walked away from my mom again while I was at the store. Sorry for that long tangent.
When someone else came in, the person walked right up to my stall. At this point, I was just looking at the person's shoes. They were men's shoes.
Bruh, why are you in here?
I was confused of why a man would be in here. Before I could look up, the man said, "Hey, Yaya, everything okay in there? I'll come in if you want me to." It was the man from the stores. I looked up, and I could see his eyes.
I'm throwing doo-doo at your face.
He then started shaking the stall.
Come on in here.
I began to scream.
I got something for you.
I've never been so afraid in my life. Then 2 women walked into the bathroom, and the man took off.
Oh, nice.
These women took me to my mother and told the police. They found him due to the cameras. I don't know what his intentions were, but the police said he probably would have kidnapped me. Who knows?
Probably.
From that time on, I would never leave my parents' side while in public.
Good. Your lesson was worse than mine, but I'm glad you still learned it. And I ain't even saying that like a cannibal is gonna kidnap you. But if you... Now this was sent to us by Iron Wolf. So Wolf, I want to say thank you. I hope you slice that like button by now. I mean, we've seen some good videos. Y'all are on a roll. And I ain't talking bread.
A few years ago. More like 10 years ago.
What?
I used to be big into visiting weird websites. I had a lot of time on my hand. Due to not playing sports, nor did I volunteer for anything at all in high school.
Lazy.
I told my friend Mark that I was starting to get bored. Honestly, I was bored with what I was experiencing on these websites. He said I should go on the deep web.
See,
you know,
we all got a friend like Mark, just putting bad ideas in our head.
Maybe you should go into the deep web.
Maybe you should get a different haircut, Mark. Why are you playing a DS? What is it, 2006? Oh, wait, he did say it's 10 years ago.
I used to go on the deep web, but never found anything. So I decided to search through some more stuff, a little deeper. I searched for hours every day for about 2.5 months. Still nothing.
Are you getting paid for this?
I told Mark, and of course he said, just visit the dark web. When I did go on the dark web, I saw chat rooms, all with different names. I came across one named I, as in E-Y-E. It was all in caps. I entered the chat, but before entering the live chat, you are assigned a number. Mine was P34.
Okay.
I confirmed my number and entered. There were hundreds of people. The comments were coming in quick. At first, I didn't understand what was going on. The screen was black, then a name popped up on the screen that said Mr. Wiggles.
Nope, I'm out.
The comments immediately stopped and a voice came over my speakers. Welcome, P34. Then his name disappeared off of the screen and the comments continued, everyone giving me welcomes. A few minutes go by. Then a countdown from 10 pops up on the screen. Then the chat goes crazy. Once it reached the number 1, the screen went straight to what looks like a view from a camera just watching someone in what looks like their home. I sat there watching this for 20 minutes and nothing happened, so I shut down my computer. The next day I went to school had a normal day. Went to Walmart, then I went home. I decided to go back on the same chat from before. I confirmed my number P34, and again, there were hundreds of people commenting. Mr. Wiggles popped up, and just like before, the comments stopped. Across the screen it said, "No new members tonight." Then the countdown started again. Everyone in the chat started going wild. The countdown finished, and then it was showing the point of view from a camera again. But it was outside of a school. My school from earlier that day.
Whoa!
At that point, I was intrigued. I couldn't tell if it was focused on a certain person or just watching the school. After 30 minutes of watching the video, our school bell rang and everyone started to come outside while whoever was recording was positioned across the street in the car. Once everyone came out, the person got out the car and started to follow a crowd of kids. Everyone started to split from each other, and the person recording started to follow someone.
Mark!
It was my friend Mark.
Oh no!
It had to be at least 100 feet behind him. I started to call Mark, but he didn't answer. I kept calling him as I watched the video, but nothing.
This is not live.
The person followed him to his house and sat outside of his house for a few minutes. The man behind the camera finally said, "No parents are home." And he began to walk to Mark's house. Rang the doorbell.
Well, Mark, this is all your fault.
Maybe you should go into the deep web. Maybe you should go into the deep web.
Now you about to get samurai slice. I warned you.
And waited as he continued to record. A few seconds go by, and Mark opened the door. He looked confused, and the guy said, "P34 sent me." And Mark looked afraid that the camera shut off and everyone in the chat left. So I did too. I called Mark's house phone instead of his cell phone, and his mother answered. I asked for Mark, and she said that she thought he was with me. I panicked. I then received a notification on my phone from my Gmail account. It said the sender was Mr. Wiggles. The message was, "I'm getting closer, P34. Mark says hi." I was shocked and didn't know what to do, so I called the cops. They didn't do anything about it because the email disappeared. I haven't been on the dark web since, and no one has seen Mark. Still to this day, I receive messages with pictures of me in random places, along with the same written message that said, "It can happen anytime."
Bro, I'm checking myself into a mental asylum.
I honestly wish I never went on the dark web.
I bet. Look, did you see at the end? Somebody was standing behind him. Oh, ooh, my invisible playmate?
When I was 8 years old, I didn't have any friends. My mom wouldn't allow me to play outside with the other kids in our neighborhood.
Dang!
I was always alone. The only playmates I had were my cousins and my brother, but it took 3 hours and 25 minutes to get to their houses.
Dang.
One day, my mom let me play outside with the kids in our neighborhood for the first time because she was going somewhere, maybe to work or to run errands. I got my dolls and other toys and was excited to play with the kids outside. When I got there, no one wanted to play with me. The attempt was useless, but then someone approached me. He had puppy eyes and was cute. We quickly became playmates.
What's wrong with his shirt?
Even though he was a boy, he would join me for tea parties with my dolls. He also invited me to play with him at his house. But I was confused because his house looked old and abandoned.
Yeah.
Like it hadn't been cleaned up for almost 12 years. We decided to go play in his garden. When we got there, I puked. I didn't know why at the time, but for some reason, I was disgusted. He didn't offer me water or anything. He just looked at me grinning and said, "Next time, you're going to sleep here too." 2 weeks after that upset...
Actually, I didn't consent to sleeping here, you ruffian.
...experience, I went looking for him. A paper airplane flew to me out of nowhere. I picked it up, and when I opened it, I was shocked, scared, and sad. It was a newspaper clipping. The boy that I played with went missing 9 years ago. I ran to my bedroom and I saw a shadow through my window. I looked at it closely and it was the boy.
Look at his neck.
He was smiling. Today, I'm 19 years old and I still remember that part of my childhood so clearly.
Oh my God.
Sometimes it be like that. I've committed the unforgivable.
I'm someone who goes on the deep and dark web constantly. It's not what people
Back up from your mic.
think, where it's evil and overpopulated with crazy people. That's only a small percentage of the dark web.
Okay.
Years ago, and I put her personal information on a forum, and soon after that,
This man is a psychopath. So we put her information on the deep web?
personal information on a forum, and soon after that, she disappeared. It's been a while since that happened.
She dead!
And I've ran into people that have disrespected me since. I'm not an intimidating guy, nor do I look intimidating, nor do I ever have physical or verbal conflicts. I always think to myself that these people don't know what could happen to them. I work at a fast.
This dude is like Yagami with the death note. You make this dude mad? I'm putting you on a deep web. Oh, you stepped on my shoe? Deep web! Didn't Samurai slice the like button on this video, Maya? You know where you about to go, huh?
Food restaurant. And at the time of this story, my manager was really on my case about everything. I would be late, mess up orders, have an attitude with customers, and some other stuff I could name, but it's so much. I understood that I was messing up, but the tone that this guy would talk to me embarrassed me in front of my coworkers, and sometimes in front of customers. One day, though, that was the last straw. So one day I walked into work,
to the deep
5
web.
minutes before I was due to clock in, and my manager out loud said that the window liquor is finally on time, in front of customers and my coworkers. Everyone laughed at me. During my whole shift that night, he would direct smart comments toward me, while still yelling at me for everything that I did wrong.
Dang.
I made up my mind. I was going to find that forum and give his information. On my walk home, I was going back and forth with myself about whether to do it or not. By the time I made it home, I made up my mind. I didn't shower nor did I change clothes. I went straight to my laptop and I searched. I possibly clicked maybe 100 links because on the dark web, there are links that will take you down any rabbit hole. A link named Pork Chop piqued my interest. When I clicked it, I was directed to
make him
an
into
about
pork
page.
chops.
It only said 6 words. We find it, we chop it. And another link that said, here's an example of what we do. I clicked it, of course. As soon as I clicked on it, the picture went to the point of view from an old school camera, with the date and time in the corner of the screen. The person behind the camera approached the man and followed him. A few minutes go by, and the man noticed what was happening. He turned around and approached the camera while yelling and screaming at the person for following him. Then all of a sudden, you see 5 huge guys dressed in black wearing a pig mask run from behind the man and drag him into the dark. The person holding the camera turns the camera to his or her face and leaves it there for about 5 to 10 minutes. That person also wore a pig mask, but all you could hear was the man screaming and sounds that I don't want to describe in the background. The camera was then turned back around and the sight that I saw was disturbing. It was something that no one would ever want to see. Some people say that they wouldn't wish it on their worst enemy, but I did.
Yep.
After the video was over, there were links. One said pork and the other said chop. I clicked on the pork and it prompted me to put in a code. I didn't have one, so I backed out. So I clicked on chop. There was information that needed to be filled out, like name, height, description, and place. I filled out all the info for my manager. And the place, it was my job. I submitted the form. At the end of the screen, it said, see you soon. 4 days later, while at work, my manager approached me and decided to apologize for the way he treated me, and offered to give me more hours and said that he will work with me more often because he sees potential in me.
Sorry, pal. I already put the head out. I'm sorry.
Hours later, it was close to the end of the night. My manager helped me with the trash and took it out for me. As I were putting chairs on top of the table getting ready to mop, I looked outside and saw my manager looking over at something, but he looked worried. I moved to get a better look and I saw what he was looking at. He was surrounded by 6 people in a pig mask with weapons in their hands. I ran outside as they swarmed him, except for one person. He had a camera. I forgot all about these guys, and then I put his information on the website. I ran outside as they approached him. He looked at me for help, but I ran back inside and called the police. It took them 10 minutes to get there. When I looked back outside, what I saw was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I wish I can get the image out of my head. Between the time of me initially seeing them, calling the cops, and running back outside, these guys were gone. But my manager was still there. I went to his funeral the next week. The next day I received an anonymous email that had the whole video. They were watching him this whole time he was on shift. I don't know how they got my email. I never provided any of my information. Till this day, I still feel sick because my manager was starting to be nice to me that day. I can't go back on the dark web.
Dang, y'all see that? Be nice to people. You never know the last person that you bully just might be the one. Called The Night Shift, and it was uploaded by Animated Horror Flicks. What's up, dude? Now this was sent to us by, I don't have their name pulled up. Now this was sent to us by Buck195. So you gonna give me a nickel and make that $2? The Animated Horror Flicks presents. Just reaching for my water bottle. The Night Shift. Whenever it's a night shift of anything, it's gonna be good, man. Facts.
I don't usually hold back when it comes to talking about my job, which was working security at the sub-level of a local hospital.
Okay.
You'd be surprised to know how common break-ins were at that place.
Oh.
Which usually ended up being a couple of junkies trying to get high on some of the weird chemicals that were being kept in the labs.
Nah. Security.
It started out as a regular graveyard shift at work, but I'll lead in with a curious backstory regarding the doors that led to the morgue. In order to keep the place more sanitized, they had recently installed sliding doors that would automatically open if someone passed in front of them.
I like this animation.
Thus removing the need to touch any handles or doorknobs, and prevent anyone from leaving the doors open by accident. There wasn't anything really unique about the sliding doors, except for the fact that they would sometimes open and close by themselves.
Oh, heck nah.
That by itself didn't seem like such a big deal, since this could have been caused by something small such as a moth flying in front of the sensor. Until one night, I realized that it would always happen at the same time.
Oh!
Every night, at exactly 3 AM, the doors would open for a few seconds and then close.
It's creepy. It's a demon!
I was convinced that the doors had been programmed with some kind of time-based trigger, but when I contacted the company that installed the doors, they told me that it wasn't possible since the doors were designed only to open when the sensors were triggered or forced open manually.
Well, it's not the
So it
latter.
continued without any explanation for a long time after that and became sort of a ritual for me and my co-workers to watch the doors open and close on the monitors every night. Usually there would be at least 2 guards on duty, but that night I ended up working the graveyard shift by myself because the other security guard suddenly became ill and there wasn't enough time to find a temp who could fill in at such short notice.
Okay. Not good.
Just to be clear, I had been working as a security guard for a long time, so I was no stranger to danger and I wasn't worried about working alone at night. Besides, the work was pretty straightforward. All I had to do is make sure all the doors were locked and secured and keep a close eye on the monitors.
That's all you ever have to do. Sounds easy enough, but let me tell you something that's gonna make it a little bit easier for you. Let me bring something to work that's gonna make it a little bit easier. That I don't care about no ghosts or no 3 AM demons, these buckshots.
There were only 2 cameras, one overlooking the control room and another one at the other end of the corridor overlooking the entrance to the morgue. As the clock approached 3 AM, I did what all the guards on duty would do. Sit back and enjoy the show. Although the novelty of seeing this phenomenon had long worn off, it was still something I would anticipate and would often give me the chills, seeing how it was the entrance to the morgue and that you could sense a sudden rush of cold air every time the doors would open.
It's a demon!
Even from the other end of the corridor.
I told you!
I watched patiently as the doors opened, followed by the howling rush of cold air that could be heard from under the door. It was when I glanced away from the door and looked to the monitors that I noticed something strange. The doors remained open.
Uh-oh.
At first I thought it might be a glitch with the monitor and I was simply looking at a frozen frame. But then I saw the lights flicker.
Ooh-wee.
I waited for a few minutes, but it soon became clear that I would have to head on down to the end of the corridor since it was strictly prohibited for the doors to the morgue to remain open. As I stepped out into the corridor, I acknowledged a significant drop in temperature, which I knew was going to get considerably worse as I approached the morgue.
Get the heater out.
I gradually made my way down the corridor and turned the corner that ultimately led me to the sliding doors.
Draw your weapon,
I had
sir!
hoped that the doors might have closed by the time I got there, but just as I had seen on the monitor, the doors were in fact still open and the camera was functioning normally. Only when I turned my back to observe the corridor did the doors finally close, which was quickly accompanied by a cold chill in the air.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I could feel an overwhelming sense of someone standing right behind me as the hairs on the back of my neck began to spike.
I told him. Then he gonna turn around like, bro, soon as I feel somebody behind, I don't waste any time. If you are in a situation and you feel somebody behind you and you turning around like these, hey, whatever happens to you, you earned that one.
But it turned out to be more of the same eerie silence as before. Since the doors had already closed without having to actually enter the morgue, I considered myself fortunate and hurried back to the control room to make sure nothing else was out of place. I closed the door and locked it from the inside, and for a moment I was expecting it to be business as usual as I sat back down in front of the monitors. But after taking a quick sip of my coffee, I realized the coffee was stone cold. Not just lukewarm as you would expect, but genuinely chilled. I hadn't been away from the desk for that long, so it didn't make much sense at all. But then I remembered that I had felt that same chill before at the other end of that corridor. Out of curiosity, I decided to rewind the security footage back to when I approached the doors to see if I could spot anything out of the ordinary. Which is when I witnessed something that I simply couldn't explain.
What?
There was a girl standing in front of the doors behind me. I couldn't really make out her face due to her long black hair. That was a stark contrast to the white gown she was wearing. She just stood there staring right at me and then walked towards the exit. To this day, I can't explain it, because I had just been there and I hadn't seen anyone. It was when I checked the other camera overlooking the entrance to the control room that really sent a chill down my spine and still gives me nightmares to this day. When the lights came back on, it was as if nothing happened. The door to the control room was open despite being locked from the inside just moments before. Due to the mysterious power surge, most of the data on the drives had been completely corrupted.
Okay.
But some of the security footage did survive.
You got me on that one.
I've been onto it ever since. I guess now would be the time to ask yourself, do you believe in ghosts?
That was clean. It's called Abduction Horror Story, and it was uploaded by our good friend Mama Arts. This was sent to us by Victor, who said, "Good to have you back, Corey. Hey Victor, while I have you, did you slice that like button? Victor, I don't want to hear that. Oh snap.
My name is Josh Roberts, and it's been a year since I was abducted.
What?
I remember it like it was yesterday. I was walking home from school. It was about 6 p.m. and there was a full moon and a chill in the air. I stepped off the bus, and for the first time, someone else got off with me. I'd never seen this new kid at school before. I could hear footsteps behind me. I took a quick glance and saw the kid walking at a brisk pace.
Let me help y'all out, alright? Because I done been in this situation before. You walking somewhere and somebody is a little too close behind you. So here's what you do. I'm giving y'all life tips. This is exactly what you do. Walking, right? You take your phone out. You act like it went off. So you walking. You notice somebody behind you, right? You're like, hey, man, he kind of close. Act like your phone going off. Hey, hello? And then when you pick up, you just... Yeah, hello? Yeah, I got a bad signal. Dude, I'm right at the corner. Oh, I see you. I'm just giving y'all tips. Otherwise, you could just turn around and put your paws up. That's not a bad option either. Turn around. Hey, what you want? Huh? And then if they really didn't want anything, then the worst thing that happened is you just yelled at a stranger. But if they there for something else, you better be stronger than me, boy. And you're not. You ain't about to kidnap me my same height and weight. Man, Shaq couldn't kidnap me. I'm biting your ear.
I thought he was following me, so I took a left, which wasn't my usual route. I looked around again and saw him take the same left.
See?
My heart started pumping and
turn
my
around
legs
and check
started shaking at the sound of the footsteps as they got louder and faster.
For real?
I then panicked and started running.
No, don't run.
I remembered a shortcut in the nearby forest to my neighborhood.
Check him.
So I ran as fast as my legs could carry me. Hey kid, wait up!
No!
A heavy voice from behind me. I tried my hardest not to stumble on the logs and boulders in my path. I could hear the sound of sticks and leaves being broken by some fast, heavy footsteps. My legs started throbbing as the adrenaline wore off, so I took a detour towards a playground. I stopped to catch my breath, looking around for somewhere to hide, then went silent. I was doubtful that I lost him. I took my phone out to call the police when I spotted a local news article. Caution, there is a suspicious man on the loose.
Oh
He escaped
my
the local prison
goodness.
and assaulted an officer. Beware, he may look like a teen, but he is in his 20s. If you see him, call 911 immediately and lock your door. My mind started rushing with thoughts. I started to panic. All of a sudden, someone started choking.
Look at this!
I tried to fight back, but they were so strong, I didn't stand a chance. My feelings of hope began to diminish as I slowly blacked out.
Wouldn't have called me like that.
I awoke to find myself in a dark, damp room that looked like a basement. The floor was hard and cold. There were no windows, but there was a staircase and a bathroom. I tried to move, but I was tied up with a thick rope. Yeah, I got him. How much was the deal? 200? Listen, you gotta do a little better than that. Okay, fine. You'd better bring the right amount, or you'll be tied up like that kid. What? Are they selling me?
Oh yeah.
The guy sounded mad and anxious
About to bust
with
it wide
whomever he
open
was
for
talking
somebody.
to. Right after he hung up, he opened the door and walked down the stairs with an evil smile. Let go of me! I exclaimed as he taunted me. My arms started to fall asleep due to the tightness of the rope. He came closer to me and I spat in his face. He looked...
Savage mode. One thing I was about to say, if somebody kidnap you and they don't have a mask on, you're probably gonna die. They ain't about to let you walk up out of there with their identity. Your best option is some sort of sneak attack.
at me in sheer rage.
Oh!
Then the doorbell rang, followed by pounding on the door. The guy grabbed some tape and shut me up before I could scream for help. He slowly backed off,
Get that off
signaling me to keep quiet, and ran towards the front door.
Man, I'm licking
I
it.
looked around, trying to see what I could use to untie these ropes. I spotted a rusty, sharp edge sticking out of the wall.
Be careful.
This was my one hope. I successfully got up and tried with all my might to reach it. As I was trying to cut the rope from my hands, I could hear the commotion upstairs getting heated. I managed to free myself from the ropes when I heard the front door slam.
Let's go.
The silence was terrifying. I was frozen in fear. Footsteps started coming towards the door. I choked and shuffled back to my original position, arms behind my back, wrists tightly locked together.
Sneak attack.
Now where were we? Said the man. He
Sneak
walked
attack.
towards me, grabbed my ankles, and started dragging me when the phone rang. He dropped me instantly and charged upstairs. I wasn't going to lose this opportunity. I untied my feet, grabbed the closest thing to me, and hid behind some boxes. Now where did you go? He said as he stampeded down the stairs. I heard him getting closer to where I was hiding. I bolted up from behind the boxes and saw him checking the bathroom. As he walked out, I struck him over the head with a pole. He stumbled and fell to the floor.
I'm hitting him again.
Red pooled around his head. I ran upstairs and out the front door. I stumbled my way to the closest house, screaming. A woman thankfully opened the door. She was shocked and fearful when she saw me. The police were called and I was rushed into the hospital. They're still looking for that man, even to this day.
See? Sirens, every time I hear them, it got me messed up now. I can't listen to sirens the same.
Of course it would decide to come back today. Of all days.
Look at this.
Any foggy day is fair game. But today, if it was smart enough to keep track of time, I'd say it was mocking me.
Yo.
It would have been easy to stay home that day.
His voice acting lit.
Maybe do something useful. Help pond the fields, or hang the washing up to dry like Ma asked. But the sun was so warm and inviting. A perfect summer day like that couldn't be wasted. There's nothing but critters and mischief out there.
Right.
What really sent me into the woods that day was naivete, bravery, and a girl named Caroline.
It's not her.
Jackson, here.
It's not her.
Jackson, come.
Her voice was muffled, staticky, or maybe she was just further away from the spot where we said we'd meet. It was quiet. No bird calls or squirrels scurrying up and down the tree trunks.
Where are the
I
squirrels?
called to her a few times, but she just kept calling for me to come. Milo was still on edge, and I was starting to feel tense too. That could have been when things went wrong. After a few minutes, I was worried that she had hurt herself and needed my help, so I went off in the direction of her voice.
Calling you like
deeper
that?
into the woods. Then Milo started barking the loudest I'd ever heard him, and darted back and forth around me. I panicked and backed up too quickly, tripping over a root and falling. A sharp pain shot up my leg. From the forest floor, I looked up at the canopy, and my jaw dropped. Standing at least 40 feet tall was the nastiest combination of man and machine I'd ever seen. Its arms and legs were so thin, I could see the outlines of veins and bones beneath the skin. There wasn't a bit of flesh on its torso either. It looked like a vacuum-sealed skeleton. But the creepiest part was its head. Or lack of a head. Atop its neck were a pair of sirens, facing in opposite directions. No eyes or ears, but it did have mouths inside those sirens.
Jackson.
I scrambled to my feet and ran with all the strength I had. Milo bulked by my side, just as afraid as I was, hearing the deafening sounds of trees cracking around me, their enormous trunks splintering and crashing to the ground. That's when the siren started blaring from the creature's head. My muscles burned and my lungs screamed for air as I burst through the clearing of our east field. Ma was standing by the truck on the far side, her mouth open in disbelief. I'm sure she could have felt the ground shaking from a mile away. Pa was already running towards me with a shotgun, but as he saw the horror that came behind me, he stopped dead in his tracks. Eyes wide, he pointed to the entrance to the tornado shelter built under the house. Ma broke out of a trance and scrambled towards the shelter too. The sirens blared on,
though ironically there was no tornado. The door flew open and Pa dove inside. Milo leaped in ahead of me, and I stumbled in a few seconds later. It took a few beats for me to realize Ma hadn't come stumbling through the door behind me.
Oh!
She was running as quickly as she could manage, wild eyes staring right into mine, screaming the whole way. But the thing was faster than her. Its final step toward her shook the ground so intensely, I thought the house was going to come down on top of us. She was knocked off her feet, and its massive hand came down on top of her. I looked away. Pa was transfixed. I'd never seen such helplessness and pain on his face. Ma cried out my name as it lifted her up, then turned to walk back towards the woods. We couldn't do anything but watch.
Jackson, come.
Milo, come on. We got an old score to settle.
Dang.
There hasn't been a day in my life I haven't thought about that morning. All these years. It's been just you and me, Milo. And now we're going to finish this. Wherever you've been all these years, I'm sure you've only hurt people, taken others who were loved, torn families apart. I bet nobody's tried hunting you the way you hunt people, though. And I bet I'm one of the only ones who ever got away from you. You know what that means? I know you, and I've got nothing left to lose. I hope you're ready to meet your maker, Siren Head.
Jackson, come.
You took my mother. You took Caroline. How many other voices have you stolen, freak?
Hey. Bro, you need more. You need an RPG. Oh. Dang. Dude got bodied that quick.
Milo. Come, Milo.
My name is Penny, and I have a fear of balloons.
Oh.
I don't like it when they...
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yo. Guys, I farted. No. Oh, my. Wow. 2 jump scares, 1 video. Everybody clap it up. Y'all did crazy this week. Wow.
My name is Penny, and I have a fear of balloons.
I'm scared.
I don't
scared.
like it when they...
Ooh. It just caught me off guard last time.
It's called globophobia. The fear of balloons usually begins in childhood when somebody is frightened by their god-awful sense of timing.
I think I got globophobia. I just never knew it.
I hate the sound that they make when people rub their hands on them.
You good, Penny?
However, my childhood was different. It's not the balloon itself. It's who it represents.
Who the freak is that?
Happy birthday to
Y'all see what they doing, right? Her name is Penny. Y'all know Pennywise the clown. She has a red balloon. I'm right with you, Alter. for? What the freak? Why would she get in the car? She captured.
What's your name?
Penny.
He just sung happy birthday to her.
Penny. I love your name. And I love you. Would you like a balloon?
I just want to go home.
You're dead.
I'll make you a deal, sweetheart.
Got in the car with him, idiot.
If you can answer 3 questions correctly, I'll let you go back to your birthday party. Deal?
Here we go. Brain, don't fail me now.
However, if you get 3 wrong,
what if I get 2 wrong and 1 right? Or 2 right and 1 wrong?
Question number 1. Do you love me?
Yes.
No.
Wrong. Knew that was coming.
Did my mother and father love me?
Oh.
Yes.
That's wrong. She literally got the first 2 questions wrong.
Do I deserve ice cream and cake
Yes.
just like all the other kids?
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
Are clowns funny?
Yes.
Are scary?
Funny.
They're funny.
They're the most frightening thing that can happen to a child.
FBI, open up!
Please open up! We're not in there!
Step away from the child!
FBI, open up! They had the 3 knocks and everything. Dang, scarred for life. All because you want to get in the car. You're lucky the police came. Thanks, no.
I'm so sorry, Penny.
Don't be. How are we gonna fix it?
Today was a huge step for you. How have the exercises with the pictures been?
They're fine, I guess. It's getting easier to look at. Did you know that Oprah has globophobia?
No. No, I didn't.
Yeah. She's much older than me. What if it never goes away? I mean, there are some days where I can't get him out of
What's
my
that car
It will,
doing?
Penny. We will get there. The next step is to have the ability to surround yourself with them. You do this, you conquer your fear of him.
Tomorrow's the anniversary. I deal with it every year.
I know. Now's the time. I will do whatever it takes.
And now some new information on a story we've been following here at XP News, and it's very unsettling.
how often?
Joining us in Greensboro, Winston-Salem, North Carolina is Sheila Kelly. Sheila?
Thanks, Jeff. Clown sightings are still at large as people celebrate the anniversary of serial killer Poppy the Clown. Later tonight, we will air the shocking documentary of how this famous killer came to be. A story of neglect, abandonment, and where it all started. A birthday party.
How often is she around balloons? I mean, I'm like barely ever around balloons. Like, do you go to birthday parties a lot? Or... like, you just don't encounter balloons in everyday life. Like,
Tomorrow. Just make it until tomorrow.
Samoa. Oh, what? I'm scared.
How many ungrateful children have I murdered?
Sounds so lame.
I don't know. 7? Higher. 8. Why won't you die? Why me, Poppy? I was just a little girl. It was my birthday. What did I ever do to you?
You're supposed to be the dead.
Victor Campbell was orphaned at the age of 6, causing a hate to grow and develop. As he grew older, he became too strange for the liking of couples that came on adoption day. One year, the orphanage threw him a birthday party they would soon regret.
Jessica, Adam, Philip, they all went home.
Because of the lack of funding, they hired a clown. The clown frightened him after offering balloon after balloon after balloon. Victor used the knife that was supposed to cut his birthday cake to murder the clown and other children in the orphanage.
Wait! Stop. That's enough, Penny. It's okay. I am so proud of you. You have officially worked past the hardest stage.
You were so convincing. I honestly forgot that it was you.
I made sure I took the time to get him right. I've watched that documentary about 100 times. Oh, you really faced your fear tonight.
I never thought we would get here. I'm just so glad it's over. Dead.
Now, you know, Penny, we have one more stage to complete to ensure you are cured of your phobia.
What the freak is going on? What is that?
What's your name?
Penny.
Penny. Penny. I love your name and I love you. Would you like a balloon?
No. No, thank you.
I made one just for you.
I just want to go home.
I'll make you a deal, sweetheart. If you can answer 3 questions correctly, I'll let you go. Deal?
Okay.
Question number 1. Do you love me?
No.
Did my mother and father love me?
Yes.
Wrong! Do I deserve cake and ice cream like the other children?
Yes.
Dang, she got it down to a T.
Are clowns funny? Or scary and sorry? I can't do this. I don't understand.
You have to, Penny. You have to understand him. You have to give him what he wants so you can let it go.
Oh, where are you freaking out?
Clowns are the most frightening thing that can happen to a child.
Stop! That's it, Penny! That's it, you finally understand him!
How many ungrateful children have I murdered?
Penny, you've got it. Stop. It's okay.
You were supposed to be the 10!
Penny!
Bro, what did you think was a... And you did it? Y'all were doing this with a real knife?
Bruh. Yeah, hi. This is gonna sound kind of strange, but...
There's a man stumbling around in circles in my front yard. Could you repeat that, sir?
He looked sick or lost or drunk or something.
I just woke up to get a glass of water and heard snow crunching around underneath my front window, so I peeked out. I'm looking at him now. He's about 10 yards away from my window.
Something's not right.
What is your address, sir?
1617 Quarry Lane in Pinella Pass.
I'm gonna send a squad car your way, but that's quite a ways out. Are you alone in your house, sir? Yes, I'm alone. Can you confirm that all of your doors and windows are locked? Stay on the phone with me. I know that my front is definitely locked, but I'll go check my back door again really quick.
I appreciate your help, by the way. I know this is kind of strange, but I really hope that...
Sir, are you still there?
He did.
He's still in the yard. But what the hell? He's upside down.
Sir, stay on with me. What is happening? He's staring right at me, but he's standing on his hands now.
Oh!
He's perfectly still, staring straight at me. He's doing a handstand and he's smiling at me and not moving. He's doing a handstand, sir? I don't know how he's facing me and standing on his hands, and he's got this huge smile and he's perfectly still. What the
I'ma lose it.
Please.
Get someone out here now.
Sir, I need you to remain calm. I've put out the call and an officer is on his way.
His teeth are so huge. Oh my god, please help me.
Sir, I want you to try and keep an eye on him, but make sure your back door is locked again. We need to make sure all possible access points are secured. Can you talk me through and confirm that your back door is locked?
No, I cannot do that for you, sir. I am not taking my eyes off this thing. Never lose sight of the target, all right? Soon as you turn around, he gonna be 1 foot or 1 hand closer. Get it? Because he's walking on his hands, not his feet. I really do this.
Okay, I'm walking backwards now, and I'm keeping him in my sight.
My hand is on the back doorknob now. Okay, it's locked.
I need to check the deadbolt, so I'm gonna take my eyes off him for a split second.
No! Don't take the...
All right, sir. Help is on the way. Just stay on the phone with me. Everything's going to be all right. Sir?
He's gone. He's gone.
Sir, are you still there? His face. It's up against the glass.
Woohoo!
Sir, I need you to speak up.
Literally! 1 second.
I looked away for a split second, and now his face is pressed up against my front window. His teeth are huge. He's still smiling. There's no color in his eyes. Jesus, please help me. Why won't it just move? Sir, I need you to go to the nearest room and lock yourself inside of it. Do you have a basement or a bedroom that you can lock yourself in? He won't stop staring. I think he's gonna hurt me. Sir, I need you to listen to me. Lock yourself somewhere safe until the officer arrives at your house. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. I'm gonna lock myself in my room.
And you're positive that you're alone in your house, correct? Yes. I'm alone in the house. Wait a moment.
He's moving. He's shaking his head.
What?
He's telling me no. Oh god, I think he can hear us. He's telling me I'm not alone.
Oh!
Sir? Sir, are you still there? Can you still hear me? What was that sound? Is everything okay? Sir?
Do you hear that mincemeat getting...
This story happened a couple years ago when I was in my early teens. It all started when I went to the movies with my friend Sam to go see the world premiere of The Dark Knight. The movie garnered a lot of notoriety at the time, obviously due to Heath Ledger's leading role as the Joker. I personally thought it was the greatest movie I had ever seen, considering I've seen almost every Batman movie that ever existed. I decided to buy some Dark Knight merchandise at the vendor
There's Nicholson's shop.
Who's located in the theater. What appealed most was how cheap the Batman masks were selling for. I didn't have a Halloween costume picked out for October yet, and neither did my friend Sam. We both collectively purchased one mask each and figured it would make for an easy costume to trick-or-treat with. I can honestly say it was an astronomical improvement from the cliche bedsheet over the head ghost I was last year. Fast forward to October 31st. Me and Sam both wore our Batman masks and began going door to door, looking for an opportunity to fill our candy sacks faster than any other trick-or-treater on the block. Trick or treat! Well, happy Halloween, Batman. I mean, Batman. That's it? Lame.
What you say? Boy, I'll snatch that bag out your freaking hands. Get off my porch.
That's it? Lame.
Get the hell off my property, you ungrateful twerps!
The majority of the houses were pretty generous, with the exception of a few bad apples, to say the least. On this particular night, there wasn't many houses that had their lights on, which generally meant that they didn't really celebrate Halloween, or in other words, they weren't giving out candy.
Facts.
Me and Sam were understandably upset considering we'd been walking for at least an hour. I continued trick-or-treating while Sam began to head home through the pit located in the middle of the neighborhood.
Why didn't I just stay home and watch SpongeBob?
SpongeBob never gonna be the same.
Pit was just a fancy nickname for the forest reserve, which was generally used for nature walks during the day. But me and Sam went there solely for the sake of a shortcut home. I began walking about half a block down when I see more houses without their lights on. Screw this, I'm going home. I eventually approached the pit while beating myself over the head for not leaving at the same time as Sam. As I entered the pit, I instantly had second thoughts of taking the longer route, as this route seemed nothing short of irresponsible and dangerous.
Yeah.
I ultimately decided to man up and continue walking through the pit, as I didn't want to prolong my already dreadful night. Why the hell did I have to take this route? I can barely see anything.
Right.
I knew I should have dressed up as a skateboarder. I would have been home already. I remember the pit being so dark to the point where I could virtually see nothing except for whatever my cell phone light was illuminating.
No!
What the
Not
hell
that clown
was that?
again.
I began walking faster as I could hear faint sounds of what sounded like a maniac clown laughing. What the hell? Who's there? Who's there? At this point, I was so
it's the
petrified,
McDonald's
I
clown.
instinctively dropped my candy due to the adrenaline rush flowing through my body. I couldn't care less about the candy, as I genuinely felt like my life was in danger.
Run!
That's when I saw the source of the laughter standing a few feet in front of me. It was a man dressed as the Joker from the Batman movie I saw previously. He honestly looked like an exact replica of Heath Ledger's with a hint of blood on his costume. What made this more disturbing was how casual his demeanor was. He just stood there smiling at me like my appearance was amusing to him.
No.
I didn't want to express the fear I felt internally, so I tried to playfully marvel at his costume and say, "Hey there, I really like your Joker costume." No matter how hard I tried to keep a composed poker face, my body language and mannerisms couldn't help but show the fear that bled inside of me.
Bro.
He then took a couple steps closer to me as I began to cautiously take a few steps backwards. Hey man, what the hell do you want from me? Why so serious? Happy Halloween. The man surprisingly walks past me while I watch him in complete shock. What the hell was that? Was that some real-life Joker? At this point, I continued walking home while looking back every 2 seconds to make sure the man wasn't lurking behind me. I eventually make it home and watch a couple of YouTube videos, trying to forget the creepy encounter that just took place. That's when my dad pops into my room and asks me to answer the house phone. Hey, Mark, answer the house phone. Hello?
Hey, Mark. Is Sam still with you?
That's when I felt my heart drop to my stomach.
Oh, that was his friend.
No, he left to go home way before I did.
Oh my god, why would you leave without him? He's not even home!
Sam's parents ended up calling the police, which resulted in an entire block search party. What came of such an innocent Halloween night turned into a nightmare. Sam's remains were eventually found in the pit, with his face lacerated into an exaggerated smile, and his head decapitated from the body. I haven't trick-or-treated since, and I still live with the regret of not leaving at the same time as my friend. I informed law enforcement about the bizarre encounter with the man I saw that night. Call it speculation or whatever you want, but I know the death of my friend Sam had something to do with that sick man. Or should I say, the Joker.
My God, why? Why did you take my son from me?
This is horrible.
Oh, God. God, why? Why did you take my son from me?
Police are looking for any witnesses to come forward in the connection of a deadly homicide of a teen. The victim's remains were found at the local park observatory. The suspect is described to be approximately 6 feet tall, Caucasian, and was last seen wearing purple attire with a green vest and tie. Police say the suspect is described to have face paint imitating the Joker from the blockbuster hit The Dark Knight. If anyone has any tips, please contact your local
Batman, where was you?
Shall remain anonymous. All right, Karen, back to you.
Oh, wait. She was from that other thing we watched. Oh, I love how all his animations are connected. She was from the other one. Look at him. Sick.
Trick or treat! Well, happy Halloween, Batman. I mean, Batman. That's it?
Whoa! Y'all see what happens when you ungrateful?
Lame.
Get the hell off my property, you ungrateful twerps!
So, I'll start tomorrow. But you have to take action to make change.
Facts.
This time I can change. I know I can.
Forgetting something, Joshua?
You about to be like, where your Frosted Flakes at?
No, Tony. I don't think so.
What about your cereal?
Nah.
You always start the day with a bowl of cereal.
Too much sugar.
Well, not anymore. I'm gonna change, Tony. Change for the better.
No. Come on, Joshua. You don't mean that here. Here, come here. Come on. You don't want to eat that fruit. You want this sweet treat. So yummy and delicious. Here, come here.
Tony, I'm not eating that. I'm done with that.
Who's your tiger?
You are.
Oh, yes, that's right. Now,
bro, I'm
who's
just
my little piggy, huh? Who's my little piggy?
I am.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Why is you in my ears?
Come on.
Me can
They're
you?
great.
Me can you? What?
There you go. There you go. Bring it up to those luscious lips. Yeah.
Hold on. Me can you? What? You gotta explain yourself.
Come on. They're great.
He even hit us with these. They're great.
There you go. Bring it up to those luscious lips. Yeah.
I'll never change. I'm a failure.
Oh, no, Joshua, come on, don't cry.
Dang.
It's hard losing weight. It really is an everyday challenge, but it's okay. I can always start tomorrow.
You freaking Tony the Tiger. X-Men cartoons. This video was uploaded by Corpse Husband. Everything will be down in the description. Corpse Husband, please don't copy strike me, alright? But Chi-Chi, I want to thank you for sending this in. Everybody, you already know the deal. Just move to the side. Chi-Chi, please step forward. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, Chi-Chi. You happen to share the same name as the wife of my most favorite anime protagonist of all time, Goku. So you got that going for you. Scary Skinwalker. You ever heard of skinwalkers? Yo, X-Men cartoons is a beast, man. Uh-oh. Hello.
My family and I live in Arizona, and we occasionally visit our Navajo family in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We left early to get there by noon or less. It is a very long and boring trip there. But we get there before noon, and we have time to talk with...
No. No, hold up. Bring that back, young boy. Look at my man running.
Get there before noon, and we have time to mess around and talk with our extended family. And we, kids, start to play around till the evening starts to show.
I love the animation style though. Like, I love it. Oh no.
The house is too small for everyone to fit and sleep in. Some of the kids have to sleep in the trailer and truck camper, but two of my cousins and I had the amazing luck of sleeping in the old, slightly torn tent.
Okay. Not very, you know, nice or safe. No, thank you.
We are well asleep at this point, and for some unknown reason, I wake up. Of course, I'm still tired and rubbing my eyes while yawning, meaning I wasn't well aware of my surroundings. Once I finish rubbing my eyes, I look straight at the entrance of the tent and see a figure, illuminated by the back porch light, standing in front of the tent. At first I was scared, but thought it was my other cousins just messing with us. As this person was still standing outside our tent looking at us, I turned to one of my older cousins who was 2 years older than me to wake him up and tell him that someone was standing outside of our tent.
Bro, wake up!
He tries to brush me off, but I persist and he turns to me and asks me what I wanted. I tell him to look at the entrance of the tent, and he does.
Yeah, you see it?
I've never seen someone go from the brink of sleep to sheer panic and alertness in their eyes that fast before.
Yeah.
He looks at me with this panicked face and tells me to be quiet. He whispers to me that it's a skinwalker and that we need to be quiet again.
Skinwalker?
We lay there for the longest time, and from my memory, it was at least an hour or more. We were just about to go back to sleep because it hadn't done anything.
Bro, stay back.
Then it started to move around the tent.
Bro, that thing Naruto running around the tent right now. Woo!
Remember when I said this was an old tent? Yeah, it had some holes in it.
Oh, fantastic. And you're probably cold, too. I mean, what if it rains?
One of the holes was the size of a quarter, and I decided to be brave. As it continues to walk around the tent a fourth time, I slowly crawl towards the hole and try to take a look.
Why?
As I did this, my cousin told me to get back to the bed or it'll hurt us. Of course, as a kid, I ignored the warning. Wow. I'm at the quarter-size hole and looking out to see whatever it was. It comes around the hole, and what I saw was bone-chilling.
What?
I bolt back and hide under my sleeping bag while my cousin does the same. This thing decided to stop moving and start looking at us again. I hid under the covers and spent every ounce of energy being scared. And then
there's one fundamental thing that I'm not understanding here. Right when I first saw that thing, help! Help! Help us! I mean, it's like 50 people in the inside. You're either gonna take your chance trying to stay quiet and just hope this thing doesn't kill you, or you're gonna at least, if you're gonna go, somebody gonna come out and see that junk, and then they could shoot it and do what they gotta do. It's just I look at things from a black perspective. You know, when I'm threatened, I just yell automatically. I hear some, hey, who over there? Hey, you know, that's just me. I'm not like, oh shoot, we gotta be quiet. Like, it's certain situations for that, all right?
And then I finally fell asleep.
Oh, okay, so their way worked. Maybe my way would have got me 8. All right. So that thing just was standing over him all night. I'm never sleeping in a tent again if I'm this guy. Ever.
I woke up early, maybe around 5, and I decided to look around the tent to see if there was anything there. I see footprints, bare footprints that send shivers throughout my body. I saw the footprints move around the tent. This hit me hard because I was now realizing it wasn't a dream. As I further investigate the footprints, I noticed that it went off track. It went off to the rocky hills nearby where we were staying at. I followed the track to the hills, about a football field away from the house.
Why?
As I continue to follow the tracks, something strange and scary happens. It goes from 2 footprints walking for a while to footprints and handprints in the dirt starting to form. I found that kind of strange because no person would do that out here. As I followed the tracks further into the hills, the hands and feet started to get smaller and smaller. It then subtly changed into coyote paw prints. That is when I stopped and turned back home, first walking fast, then onto a full-on run. When I got back, I sat down on the back porch for a while and thought about telling my family, but I didn't think that they would believe me. In the end, I didn't tell anyone, even the cousin I woke up in the middle of the night.
It's like, we don't talk about what happened.
Well, that's my story. I urge you guys to not go into the Navajo reservation to go looking for them. You will bite off more than you can chew. We, my people, take these beings very seriously and do our best to not talk about them. Even though I broke this code, I just thought to warn you guys about them. Whoever is listening are the first people to hear this story. I had a few more stories to tell, but this is by far the scariest one I had.
Started with back rooms, we're ending with back rooms. Now this was sent to us by Bartek, who said, yeah, you're gonna like this one. Greetings from Poland. Love you, Corey. We got samurai out in Poland? I didn't know we was worldwide like that. How do you say hello in Polish?
Cześć.
Cześć. Cześć.
Cześć.
Cześć.
Jak się masz?
Jak się masz, Bartek? What? Really just dropping us in here. More backrooms footage. Uh-oh. They try to get you with the zooms. Wait. Don't do it. What's going on here? Don't ask me. This dude is some sort of infinite water park or something. you slide down that, dude? That's on you. The lobby. Uh-oh. Look how... Oh, never mind, never mind. This is looking more reminiscent of that first video now. Barring the walls and the carpet. But everything else. That scared me a little bit. Oh! Let me explain why that scared me. The person holding the camera wasn't screaming, wasn't gasping or anything. I thought the footsteps we were hearing was his. You getting chased by that and you not even screaming? Who runs from this and they not even screaming? Doom guy? Oh my... Nah, that's... Come on. Blatant, obvious trap. You don't run down no straight corridor. He dead. He is dead. Oh, oh! Look how he fell. It's called True Gas Station Horror Stories, and it was uploaded by Llama Arts. What's good? Now, this was sent to us by Kirk, who said, "Hey, this gave me shivers down my spine. How reality works, hope you see this. Corey, I'm a really big fan, and welcome back to YouTube. I hope to see you post more. I'll always support." Everybody clap that up. New Llama Arts design. Dude, I need a shirt.
One night last summer, two of my friends, Sam and Jake, convinced me to sneak out with them. We were all bored, just looking for something to do. We decided to go for a walk to a local gas station that was open 24 hours a day. The walk there was pretty uneventful. We talked about random topics, drank a couple of beers. Once we got to the gas station, Jake had to use the bathroom. When he was in the bathroom, there was a dirty, sketchy guy in there. Jake struck up a conversation with this guy. It was pretty normal, except...
How many of y'all go into a bathroom, see a dirty, sketchy guy in a corner, and then try and start a conversation with him?
I asked why he was out so late, and if he was by himself. Jake brushed it off, as the guy was just trying to tell him to stay safe. We bought some snacks, and we noticed the guy following us around while he was talking to someone on his phone. We left soon after, and on the way back, we sat on the side of the road and talked for a while, as we drank some more.
Bro.
It was pitch black by now because there are no street lights in the area. We saw a car coming down the road, which was no big deal. We sneak out pretty often, and we've never had any real problems. Cars usually just drive by. This time was different. The car spun around in the road and pulled up right next to us on the street, and two guys got...
It's time to stand up. You sitting outside, a car pulls up in front of you and stop, you're still sitting? Car stops in front of me immediately. I'm hitting my Sagat pose. Tiger! 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 Bro, you're defenseless!
This time was different. The car spun around in the road and pulled up right next to us on the street, and two guys got out. We ditched the got up and sprinted down the street. Jake and I hid behind an RV, while Sam hopped a fence. The two men looked dirty, like they hadn't showered in days. We watched the two guys for a little while, which is when we noticed that one of them had a gun in his hand.
Oh!
They looked in our direction for a few minutes before they got back into their car and drove off. Jake and I looked for Sam, but we couldn't find him, so we decided to head back home. We thought we had lost them, but on the way back we turned a corner and those same guys were sitting in the car, waiting there. We ran through the alleyways and backyards until we lost them. Every few minutes, we saw the car driving slowly down a street or alleyway in the distance, and we would hide. Eventually, we made it back, and Sam messaged to tell us that he got followed by a different car, but he made it home safe. It's been almost a year since that night. We're always more cautious when we go out, and Sam still has nightmares about being abducted. I don't know for sure if the guy from the bathroom had anything to do with it, but we believe that he's somehow connected to it.
Mr. Friend presents Timothy and the Man with No Mouth. Oh, this seems professional.
It was an ordinary night at the Green residence, and little Timothy was getting ready to begin his maths homework on his new computer he'd received for his birthday.
Okay. Nice.
The only trouble was, Timothy wasn't very good at maths. It was far past Timothy's bedtime, and he had still not made any headway. Oh, why is maths so hard? Timothy exclaimed.
Ow.
At that moment, Timothy heard a noise coming from the back garden.
Uh-oh. Don't.
What was that?
Don't explore, Timothy. Sit down.
Timothy looked out of the window to see what made that noise. It was very dark.
What the frick you got going on back there? Can y'all see that? Okay, I see a lawnmower. What's that stuff to the left? Is that like a freaking jungle gym back there?
I could have sworn I heard something from out there. Huh? Timothy took another peek out of the window.
Oh, that's creepy. That is creepy right
He
there.
definitely saw something this time. Standing in the middle of the garden. It was looking right at little Timothy, and it cocked its head and waved.
We all know how this is going to end, but just for kicks and giggles, which of the following would you do in this situation? People that chose A or B, good job.
Who on earth is that? Timothy gasped with affright.
Close it. Thank you, Timothy. Close the curtain.
He didn't want whoever that was looking into his room. Who was that? Why did they have no clothes on? 100 questions raced through young Timothy's mind. But then he quickly remembered. He still had to finish his maths homework by tomorrow.
Bro. Ask your parents or somebody. Don't just stare at it forever.
30 divided by 5.
Oh, now you're getting sleepy.
Oh.
Clearly, it's 5. But the thing is, like, if you don't have help...
Just when Timothy was drifting off into sleep, he heard something right outside his window.
Oh, no.
Huh?
What, did he have a ladder? Don't tell me this man levitating.
Timothy knew he shouldn't go and see. But he was a curious little chap.
Curiosity gets you killed. Remember that. Ooh! He's about to be like, I can help.
Who on earth are you? What on earth are you? The man at the window stayed completely silent. Where's your mouth? Why were you hiding in my garden? What do you want?
Huh?
Yeah, he's gonna give him the answer.
Huh? What are you trying to say?
He's like, your math problem, you idiot.
My maths problem? Are you trying to help me with my homework? Well, I see. Timothy slid over to his computer and cautiously pressed the number 6 on his keyboard. By gosh, you were right. The answer was indeed 6. How smart you are.
Close the curtains.
Timothy went back over to the window. You're not so scary after all.
You see how easy kids are, bro?
What do you mean by that?
This is where the whole, like, white van candy thing came from. Because kids just be kids, and it's like at first, the cogs are going, they're like, stranger danger, I don't know you. You do one thing. Oh, hey kid, you like water? Is this nigga serious?
Just wanted to help me with my homework. Is that right?
No, that's not right.
Huh? Do you want to come inside?
Bro, Timothy, you're not that crazy. Timothy!
I'm not sure. I'm not really supposed to be talking to strangers, let alone let them in my bedroom.
Right, Timothy.
I'll tell you what, though. Since we're now friends, you can come back tomorrow and help me with tomorrow's questions.
Hey, Timothy, finessing him. He's like,
The man then slunk off into the night as Timothy went to bed.
How was he up that high? He didn't close the curtain back? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Huh?
don't slide back up like that.
The next evening, Timothy went up to his room to get started on his new maths homework.
Best window startup. 3 times 3, 6.
Once again, it was very difficult, and he was struggling to solve it. Timothy went over to the window and looked out into the garden. Hello? Mr. No Mouth? Are you there? Everything was silent. Oh, I guess I'll have to solve this one myself then.
Timothy, are you
At that
not paying
moment,
attention in class?
Timothy heard a familiar whistling coming from outside.
Get out of my window.
His new friend was back. Timothy was very relieved. Thank goodness you're back.
Bro, I'm about
You
to
can help me
throw
with my
up.
homework now.
Looking at that thing.
What's the answer? The man stared at the computer screen. What's the matter? Is it too difficult? Well, come and take a closer look.
Timothy, you just gonna give him the keys like that? Oh, you're dead. You're dead. You're dead. Oh, this is disgusting, dude. Oh.
I'm so glad you're here to help me. It's wonderful to have a friend like you now. By the way, I was wondering, how do you whistle when you have no mouth?
For the free ski? Just open the window, huh? Oh my goodness. my goodness! Oh my goodness!
And that was the end of Little Timothy.
Oh, he gonna do the math problem,
Task. Even though you interview and take the time to get to know that person, you don't truly find out who they are until you start living with them.
Facts.
I'd begun searching for...
Let me press pause. Let me turn this up. You get it nice and loud in the headphones, so it's
that you
for a roommate after I decided to leave my current residency. I was contacted a couple of hours after placing an ad on the Facebook Marketplace. The message read,
"Hey Chris, I'll be moving out of my current apartment this August, and I'm looking to room with someone new, as my roommates are moving to California this year. I'm 27 and I'm currently going to school. When I'm not at school, I enjoy hiking and watching movies. I also apprentice at a taxidermy shop on the days I don't have class. Hope that's not weird. It's always been a fun hobby of mine. Anyway, I'm looking forward to hearing back from you. Have a great day, Lunaire."
Okay.
My first and most obvious reaction after reading the message was to check her profile. She was a medium height, had long, messy blonde hair and green eyes. In her profile picture, I saw her standing with a man and a woman shoulder to shoulder. They each adorned goofy grins and held up peace signs. Under the photo, the caption read, "Love my roommates."
Okay.
I smiled to myself and decided to send her a message back.
Hey,
the sun beat down on us
who was
as we
that over
twisted
there?
various objects to the second floor of our new apartment. It took us a couple days to get everything out of the moving trucks and into our new place, but as soon as we did, a wave of relief washed over our sweat-drenched and sore bodies. After a couple more hours of rearranging, we each grabbed a beer from the fridge and sat on the porch. We reminisced about old 90s cartoons and what video games we obsessed over as kids, and as the sun started to set, I truly felt relaxed and confident that things were going to work out.
But they didn't. Nah, quick question. How many of y'all would put out an ad for a roommate and accept a response from the opposite gender? Because I'm thinking, I put out an ad for a roommate. If you even a little cute. Guys, I'm joking.
A week later, I started a new job for a construction company that was owned by a good friend of mine. As I was getting ready, I heard the front door swing open. I walked into the living room to see Lunaire and her friend David sliding in a large box.
Hey, hold up!
What you got there?
Who is you?
I asked. Through a strained grunt, she replied,
"I bought a freezer to store some of the animals I'm planning on using in my taxidermy work. I hope that's alright."
Nah, it's like you should have cleared that before. It's already here.
There was no mention of this happening in the first place, but I eventually accepted and returned to my room to continue getting ready for work.
That weird stuff.
I came home at around 9 p.m. after having a couple of beers with friends and noticed that the freezer was nestled snugly in the lower part of the pantry. A low hum could be heard reverberating off of the inner walls. I was curious to see what was inside, but didn't want to intrude on Lunaire's business. So I went into my room and changed into more comfortable clothing.
I'm taking a peek.
After changing, I came back out into the kitchen and started making a sandwich. I opened the fridge and grabbed what I needed. As I turned around, I stubbed my toe on the edge of the island countertop and let out a long, exasperated grunt.
Ouch.
Through my frustration, I slammed the fridge door shut and checked my toe to see if there was any bleeding. As I raised my head back up, I was greeted by a shadowy figure. Lunaire was standing in the doorway leading to her room. The darkness behind her almost seemed to envelop her.
"Is everything okay?"
she said in a deadpan tone. "Shit, yeah, I'm sorry. I just slammed my toe into the corner of the countertop as I was making a sandwich. I hope I didn't wake you."
"It's fine,"
she said in the same deflated tone as before. She then turned around and walked back into the darkness of her room. I could tell that she was pissed. so I quietly made my sandwich and retreated back to my room as well.
Hey, Lunaire, you want a PB&J? I mean, I could make you one real quick. Maybe we can watch some TikToks after?
Only hearing the low hum from the freezer as I closed my door. I had the next day off, so I was able to sleep in a little longer than usual. When I finally emerged from my room, I walked into the kitchen to make breakfast. As I opened the refrigerator, I noticed that the light wasn't turning on and there was a lack of cold air escaping from inside.
What? She unplugged
I turned around and flipped the light switch to confirm my suspicion. Sure enough, the power was out. Damn it, I muttered under my breath. I walked over to Lunaire's room and knocked on her door to tell her about the power outage if she didn't already know, but there was no answer. I then remembered that she had classes that day and probably wasn't home. I walked back to the kitchen and past the pantry.
Why is it a
As
padlock?
I did, I slipped on the floor but was able to catch myself on the countertop. What the? I angrily exclaimed as I looked down at the floor trying to figure out what I had slipped on. It was blood. It had started to leak from the corner of the freezer and pool onto the floor. I quickly tried to open the freezer to find out the cause of the viscous liquid, but then I noticed that it had a padlock attached to it.
Heck no.
I don't remember seeing that before.
Lunaire gotta get
I
up
ran
out
out
of
to
there.
my car and grabbed my toolbox from the back seat. I approached the freezer and set my tools down on the nearby countertop. I then pulled out a small pair of bolt cutters and snapped through the metal of the padlock. It fell to the ground with a large thud. I creaked open the top of the freezer and was greeted with a putrid stench that permeated my nostrils. I quickly pinched my nose and walked away gagging in response. I guess I should have realized that was gonna happen, I muttered to myself in between gags.
Man
After
up!
gaining my
Look in there!
composure, I grabbed some gloves from under the sink and started taking inventory. I could see a couple of dead birds and plastic bags wedged into the corners of the freezer. I took each bag out and set them in the trash can nearby. That's when I noticed that the blood was coming from the corner of the larger black bag. I don't know why, but I decided to open the top of the bag and peer inside. I was greeted by large, milky white eyes, a swollen black tongue surrounded by cracked and bloated lips, and the matted hair of a human head. I swiftly dropped the bag and fell backwards onto the floor. My breathing had ceased to exist, and I grabbed the trash can next to me and expelled my disgust into it.
Call the
I then
police!
ran out the door, got into my car, and called the police.
Good job.
As I sat in the interrogation room with a blanket over my shoulders, I couldn't help but think about the face I'd seen.
Cold?
It looked so familiar. That's when it finally hit me. I pulled out my phone and looked at Lunaire's profile picture. It was her old roommate, the one she said was moving to California. When the detective entered the room, she started the questioning process, asking me if I started noticing any weird behavioral occurrences around the apartment. Yeah, I stubbed my toe the other day and she creepily stood in the doorway. It seemed like she was pissed, but for some reason I had a strange feeling like she was concerned about something. That's when I connected the dots. She didn't come out into the kitchen because she heard me stub my toe. She came out into the kitchen because she thought I slammed the freezer instead of the fridge. A cold sweat started to form on my forehead as my surroundings became blurred. I could hear a low whine slowly starting to cover up the words of concern from the detective. As my vision started to clear, I could see another officer enter the room and whisper something into her ear as he handed her a piece of paper.
Oh my gosh.
"Do you have somewhere you could stay at?" she asked. I mean, I was planning on staying with my parents. They live about 30 minutes outside of town. Okay.
Can I stay
she
with
paused.
you?
Listen, I don't want to worry you, but we found this picture inside of your apartment.
Oh no. Oh no, no.
She
no.
slid the piece of paper across the table, and I immediately felt like someone kicked me in the chest.
She's standing over him.
The head of Lunaire's other roommate sat on the chair.